nice laugh, are you?
Australian legends!
Hey!
Sir, can you knock?
What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Joe Lycett, live at the Apollo 2014. It's 10 years ago at this point. I just watched the Taskmaster Does the Wrestling 2023 show, I guess you would call it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Joe Lycett was in fine form, and shout out to Sixon on Patreon who has recommended this. She said I might enjoy it. It's Joe Lycett, and I was saying in the reaction to Taskmaster Does the Wrestling, Joe Lycett just emits a massive amount of laughter from me. Something about him, his personality, his accent, his voice, his jokes, just all kind of blends together in this way that I can't really help but just ruckusly laugh at. Like, he really just gets my humor. Acaster is exactly the same. Rob Beckett, you could probably put in that category as well. I don't know if I would say that Joe Wilkinson is in that category, but he certainly makes me laugh as well. But I love Joe Lycett. I can't wait to see what this is all about. And if you want a full-length version of this reaction, patreon.com/FWCI is where you can get it. $5 dues a month with a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's have a look at what Joe Lycett was doing in 2014 at the Apollo, of all places. Let's go.
I'm not a homosexual. Thank you for laughing at that. Any gays in? Kill them! No. You're not gay in that shirt. I'm bisexual, which means you're all at risk. Start with you and work round, that's what we're going to do.
Alright, this is a very different Joe... that freeze frame. This is a very different Joe Lycett to what I'm used to. This is... And I guess him going over to America for the first time, I'm guessing, you know, you got to go with judging a book by its cover and then lean into that. I feel like that's what he's doing right now.
It's just backstage, having a lager and punching a woman. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, that's the thing to cheer, yeah. Thickest sort of black country accents, and the one said to the other, she said, "You're still going to take the kids to the Middle East?" And the other one said, "Yeah, I'm going to take the babai to Abu Dhabi." Right. I was in the Touchwood Shopping Centre, which I think is the gayest name for a shopping centre, isn't it? You'd have a lovely time there.
By the way, Touchwood, I can agree, that does sound like a pretty gay name for a shopping centre.
They came up to me and they went, "Give us your wallet." And I went, "No." Sure, hit somebody in the head. That is a weak point. What are you going to hit them with? My head. That's like hitting some of the balls with your balls, isn't it? We might do that later, who knows? I don't know where I got the confidence from, but I just went, "I've got a knife."
What? What?
It wasn't a knife, it was a pizza wheel, so...
Oh, that'll work. I mean... Ugh.
I didn't stab them, I cut them into 8 neat slices. It was fine. Are you good at farting, sir? No. What's the longest one you've ever done? Mine's 14 seconds. Which I think might be a medical emergency.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Jesus Christ. I've never timed my farts, but I have farted so loudly in my sleep that I woke myself up. And it's weird because I woke up to the sound of the fart echoing. The place I was living in had like brick walls, and it was like echoing off all the brick. That's probably the craziest fart story I have, I guess. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? You ever farted yourself awake? I then laughed. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I laughed. I might have even given my mate a call and told him all about it.
I hate when people say they believe in ghosts, because they always say things like, "I saw a ghost at the end of my bed." It's always in a conveniently creepy place, isn't it? No one ever goes, "I saw a ghost in Morrison's." It just doesn't happen. She had a face on her. She looked like she was constantly pissing into a hot tub and getting away with it. You know, so smug. I can tell you what your spirit animal is.
What a vision.
It's a walrus. Well, what do I do with this information, Janet? I shouldn't listen to my inner voice, because it is normally things like, "Kick that toddler!" Just a stream. As we're at a party, I do it for half price, I do it for 15. Like,
what?
Walrus says you can piss off.
Good work.
The What did you say, Walrus? Couldn't possibly kill another prostitute. You know, silly things. I tried it for the first time. You put a location code in, put the code in, went into a nearby coffee shop, had just got my coffee, and a parking enforcement officer was next to my car. That's what they call themselves, with his little computer with a pen on a string in case I drop it.
Joe Lycett and parking fines, I know all about it. I've seen that story from, I think it's 8 out of 10 Cats or something like that, where he gets into it with the council over that parking fine, and he is 100% in the right as well. So, what do you got?
Bit dickhead. Yes, you do. Because if I'm lying, then what you're suggesting I've done is parked in Leeds and then driven 120 miles in 8 minutes. That's what you're suggesting. It's only 5 minutes down the road. Actually, it's about 3 seconds in my hypercar. It was so hot in that office. She looked like a bit of wet scrambled egg in a chair, just...
Christ.
And then she looked at me and went, "The day I hear Steve making me a cup of tea is the day I hear a rocking horse do a plop." That's the weirdest imagery I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's a weird metaphor, Sharon. What are you talking about?
This says Leeds. I know, Sharon, I put the wrong code in. Well, you'll have to complain at the Leeds office.
Oh my god.
But how did you get here so quickly?
Fucking hell.
But is there anyone else I can talk to about this? She said, "You could speak to Steve over there." I decided not to speak to Steve for a number of reasons. The main one being he was trying to eat a yoghurt with a pen lid. I just didn't feel like he was competent.
Who are these scrubs running this fucking company?
Paid it, still got it to this day. And after I'd left, Walrus was like, "You idiot. You could have done anything in there. You could have killed her. Got the perfect alibi. Where were you when the murder happened?"
That's hilarious.
Their slogan, up until recently, was "Where winners eat." You only need to look at the people in Subway to know they have quite a fluid definition of the word winner.
2014 had all the Jared stuff broken at this point.
Most of the people in there can't win custody of their own kids, so I don't know what they're winning. Oh, some Subway fans, and I can feel it. If you get a cookie with this, the whole thing is cheaper than if you didn't have the cookie. So can I not have the cookie but still have the deal? And she went, "No, you have to have the cookie. Otherwise, when I count the cookies later, there'll be a discrepancy."
You have the cookie. Take the fucking cookie yourself.
Why don't you give it to somebody in the street? Who does that? "Do you want a cookie?" Like, you mental? "Do you want the cookie?" And she went, "Oh, are you sure?"
Yes.
"I'll have an M&M cookie, please." And she went, "Oh, good choice."
Fuck you.
"Oh, you have to give it back to me as a gift. That's the law." "That's not a law." Walrus looked up at me.
What?
"She's wasted your time here." So I ate the cookie in front of her. The receipt when I got to the door as well, it's 50p more. So I went back to her and said, "Why is it 50p more?" And she went, "Oh, the M&M cookie isn't part of that deal."
Oh my god. Oh, that's so infuriating.
I went into Emporio Armani with a Greggs sausage roll. Watch the panic. Oh my god. And the woman came up to me. First thing she said was, "Don't make any sudden movements. It's a pasty, not a bomb. The smell will get into the fabric. Smell doesn't transfer that quickly. Otherwise, all of the clothes in Primark would smell of broken dreams, wouldn't they? So
I don't know. The sausage roll, quite pungent.
I'll look after that." So now my sausage roll had a legal guardian. "Going to buy that?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, before I forget." And she got the sausage roll off the side, but because she was angry, she did it too quickly, and it spun out of the bag. Literally spun, pissing flakes everywhere. She made a noise that was unusually low. She went, "Moo." Inspected it, and I just went, "The smell has got into the fabric," and stormed out.
Oh man, he sticks it to people that are just trying to do their jobs, but I get that some people, even in their jobs, are quite shit. So where is this at? Because that sounded like it was in Britain, but it looks like it was at the Apollo, which isn't that in like New York or something? What the fuck am I looking at here? That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Joe Lycett's retelling of interactions with people in different, you know, professional circumstances, like the parking fine in this one here, and then the bit at the Armani store at the end. That was great. He just the visual of him walking into like a crazy overpriced clothing store with a fucking sausage roll. The state that I grew up in, very big into bakery goods, sausage rolls, pies, pasties, chocolate donuts, all sorts of like shit like that. It's just a really big part of like the culture down there. So I know a thing or two about a flaky sausage roll, and yeah, I could definitely see them panicking seeing him walk in with one of those. But I love Joe Lycett. I really, really enjoy it. Let me know what other Joe Lycett bits you recommend, any other like short clips on YouTube and stuff like that. Just put a link down in the comments or tell me what to search, and I will give it a look, because he always cracks me up, and something about, just something about the blend of his comedy and just the whole presentation of his act. He just hits the right note for me, and I could just watch him all day, and I plan on hopefully doing that. So tell me what videos to watch so you can watch them along with me, and patreon.com/FWCI if you do want to do that, watch the full-length version of this. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, see you in the next video. Peace.